Hi everyone, welcome to the Geek Remix podcast. My name's Mari.
And I'm Stacy.
And we got gaming news for you today, and also just things that we want to talk about, so you're going to have to listen to it, because it's our show, and you have to.
Tons of stuff.
You don't click away. You're not allowed. We said so. To first up on news today, I just want to start off with that face. We'll get to it, but the first thing we're going to talk about today is Twitch streamer trained for 3 months to try and break 569 hour streaming record. What's this about, Stacy?
Okay, so this is a record in a month, but I think the takeaway here is that right now he's living on 3.5 hours of sleep a night and streaming games on Twitch 19 hours a day for an entire month. That's the goal.
Okay.
And
I think he's gonna die.
And the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because, what?
I mean, cool that he has goals and is working towards it. I just am worried about him physically.
Yeah.
On, a health level.
Yeah.
Is that okay? That sounds like something, he's gonna get an aneurysm. No joke.
Well, because
he's gonna get a blood clot.
Wasn't there a guy? There was a guy that died, who was streaming all the time, and because he wasn't Do you remember hearing about this?
That's how every time someone talks about a gamer dying of lack of sleep and gaming too much, it's usually that.
Yeah.
I'm just a little worried.
But I remember there was a Twitch streamer that died because he was just streaming all the time. He didn't it, and basically he pushed his health too far.
Oh yeah, we should tell people. Twitch streamer Andrew Giant Waffle Bodine.
Is it
Bodine? Okay. Yeah.
Bovine?
No, Bodine. So his handle is Giant Waffle. I'm saying this because it's fair to shout out who he is for his accomplishment. I'm just genuinely worried.
Yeah. So
that.
Right now he has streamed for 192 hours and has 20 days left.
I don't know, man. This seems really dangerous. And it's not like he has a nurse on hand watching over him. He's just some dude.
So even if you weren't streaming, surviving on 3.5 hours of sleep a night
really
for an entire month is really dangerous.
Really dangerous. Bad for your
bad for your heart.
Bad for your heart. People don't understand so many different things affect your heart. For example, people with bulimia actually end up having a lot of heart attacks, even if they were at a quote-unquote normal weight, which is not, there's no normal weight. I'm just saying. Average or normal.
Or even overweight.
Or even overweight or underweight. It has nothing to do with how much fat's on your body or anything. It's because you're throwing up so much. It's throwing the electrolytes and potassium and stuff in your body out of whack, and so your heart no longer has what it needs to function, and a lot of people get heart attacks. And then with the lack of sleep, you're also depriving your heart of the rest that it needs, and it's gonna give out. Your body literally needs to sleep. And I don't know, a lot of people are like, sleep doesn't make any sense, blah, blah, blah. Sleep is the time that your body literally needs in order to repair itself, for your brain to process all the things that's happened in the day, and for your whole body to recover from all the small little nicks and cuts and digestion and all this stuff that you need to do. Sleep isn't some sort of phenomenon that we just somehow do for no reason. You need it for a reason.
So here it actually talks about in 2017 a streamer died during a 24-hour marathon stream. And another streamer, Joe Marino, almost died, and he wrote about it in an essay for Kotaku.
Yeah, I don't like the charity streams anymore where they ask you to do it for 24 hours because that's too long.
Well, I think what they try to do now is they try to have 24 hours and then people do slots. So the stream itself is going for 24 hours, but no one person is going for too long.
I did one 24-hour stream one time, and it was the worst, and I never want to do it again.
Yeah.
I got so sick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even, I don't even know how people do it for, 10 hours or, 8 hours in a day. Because, we do streams for, 4. I even remember back when we, have done, some of those marathon recording sessions where we did like a 12-hour game in like 16 hours or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And like I felt like I wanted to die.
Yeah, it's a lot. And like for me, streaming is like really emotionally engaging. And it's not that I don't like it. I actually really like it. It's just that it drains me really quickly just because of the type of person I am. And that's okay. Yeah, it's really hard to be on it for that long.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just it's not the same as just sitting there and playing a video game by yourself as you fart and shove food in your mouth. Because that's, like, actually relaxing.
Yeah.
Streaming, very fun. I love talking to everyone, but I also have to be somebody who is aware of the chat, aware of how the chat's feeling, making sure I am... Because sometimes people in the chat will be like, hey, I had a hard day and blah, blah, blah. And part of my job is to be like, tell me about it, you know, everyone be supportive of each other, blah, blah, blah. Just being present and available emotionally. And sometimes I get cranky, and then I have to go, sorry, guys, that was unacceptable, you know?
Well, and also, like, paying attention to what's going on in the game, like, keeping commentary going.
And being an entertaining person, it's a lot.
Being entertaining is hard.
It is hard. It's very hard.
I would say, and it, you know, I just don't know how people... And also, like, you know, even when I'm, like, at the office for the day, right? So I'm at the office maybe, like, 9 hours out of the day or something. But, like, you're getting up every like, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes to, like, oh, I'm going to go do this thing. I'm going to go grab that thing. Like, you're not just, like, sitting in one place for the whole time. And doing one thing the whole time.
And it's also just... Sometimes I get cranky and I feel so bad because I got cranky. And then it's more on me for not being like, okay, time to stop.
Yeah.
You know?
There's been times where we've been, like, recording videos, too, where, like, one of us gets cranky but doesn't want to say, like, hey, I can't do this anymore. And, like, one of the things that I like about now that, like, we actually, like, live together.
We don't have
to suffer through it anymore.
No, we don't. We can just, like, do it tomorrow.
You can be like, you know what? I'm fucking tired. Or, like, you know, oh, like, we planned to record today, and one of us is just like, you know what? I don't fucking feel like it.
Yeah, sometimes, like, I'll get cranky, and people will be like, it's okay. I'm like, no. Don't just tell me it's okay simply because you like me as a personality. You shouldn't stand this. Stand culture's bad.
Well, it's like...
Yeah, it just makes me think about how all these people who do, like, terrible things and people still stand them anyway. Because, okay, who you want to stand is your own thing. Do whatever you want. I just don't want... I can't remember what I did, but it was, like, something... Like, someone said something and I... like, got a little snappy, and then I immediately was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And they're like, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's not okay. Don't stand me.
Like, well, I mean, I think it's okay to, like, acknowledge that, like, people are people, and, like, no matter how hard you try, there's always going to be cranky days, you know?
Yeah, I just feel bad about it, basically. Basically, yeah. I'm a guilty person.
Well, here's the thing, is that you should whoever it is should apologize, but the other person is also allowed to forgive you.
Yeah, but I don't think the person who I snapped at forgave me. I think they left, and I still think about it to this day.
They left forever.
I don't know if they left forever, but I still think about it to this day. Like,
I think I know who it is.
Who is it?
Because they messaged me.
They
were like, you'll never believe what Mari said to me.
I don't know if you're being
just
sarcastic or not, because that's something that would happen.
Because that is something that, like...
If you were like, I'm going to tell Stacey, and I'm like, go ahead. Like, she doesn't
that,
care.
That used to happen, like, all the time. People would, like, tell on us to each other.
I was just like, okay, but I'm, like, right here, and I know what she said.
They'd be like, I can't believe that, like, Mari said this. And I would be like, I was there.
Yeah.
We record the videos together.
You know what I think that's rooted in? I think it's, even if someone's not consciously thinking it, they want to just divide women. You know what I mean? They just want to be like, oh, I can't believe she did this, so get close to me because I'm pushing her away from you, so you're going to want to be close to me.
I thought it was more like, I'm going to go tell Dad.
Yeah. I think it's both.
I'm gonna get you in trouble with Dad.
There's just like people are just they see women getting along and they're like, oh, I want to do this. No, it reminds me of there's this subreddit called like Reddit Museum or something, and they were like biggest burn on Reddit ever. And there's a subreddit called Roast Me, and it's just this beautiful woman saying, "Go ahead, roast me, like I fake boobs, whatever."
Yeah.
And someone was like, "Every day you wonder if men actually like you or they're into you just because you're beautiful. And if you ever really have like a personality, or if your entire personality is that you're pretty, and blah, 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 blah." And everyone's like, "Oh my God, what like a horrible roast." And I'm like, that's not anything any average-looking guy hasn't said to a beautiful woman in order to take her down. That is not...
Yeah.
That's not an insult. That is the fantasy insult of an ugly man yelling at a beautiful woman. Sorry, it's true. Like, that's
also, like, so basic. No offense.
Yeah, that's assuming that because she's beautiful, she doesn't have a personality.
Yeah.
And I honestly... Every single beautiful person I've ever met has a personality, has interests, has likes. They might, you know, as like anybody else, be a horrible person.
They also might be completely different interests from yours.
They might be completely different interests than yours, but everybody... I don't know, it stuck out to me because everyone thought it was like the biggest burn, but I'm pretty sure it was all just like Reddit men thinking it was the biggest burn. But honestly, beautiful women hear that insult all the time, and they don't care. And if they do care, it's because you hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
Because you're just assuming things based off of what they look like.
I do think there are some people who don't really have much of a personality.
Yeah, but I don't think that's related to being beautiful.
No, I don't think so
that's
either.
just if you just suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's kind of like when people, like, their personality is, like, limited to, like, the brands they support, you know? And they don't, like, actually, like, have thoughts about the things that they, like, watch. They're just like, I'm a this fan, and, like, that's as far as it really goes, you know?
But even then, they could have other interests, like, I really love cats or something, you know? Or
That's not a personality, though. I'm specifically thinking of people that I've dated where I've gone on dates and I was just like, wow, there's like nothing.
There's nothing here.
There's nothing here.
Or maybe they just hadn't opened up to you. No.
No.
There's people who just sit there and look at sports and let it just wash over them as they lay there.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with attractiveness.
No, it doesn't.
It has nothing to do with attractiveness.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it irks me so much where, like, dudes think they're, like, really owning beautiful women by being like, I bet that's, like, the only thing you have going for you. And it's like, dude, like, no. A lot of women it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It just always gets me.
Well, and that's rooted in the whole, like, oh, here's this, like, beautiful woman that I can't have, so I'm going to make her feel like shit.
Yeah.
When it's like, she never wanted you, though, so, like, this insult isn't really going to hurt.
And even if it did, that's just because you're being mean.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you're mean. Good job.
Yeah. We really went on a tangent here.
Well, good job.
Good job,
Beautiful
us.
women are protected.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
So, I watched this morning. My BF was like, oh my God, look at this. And I couldn't believe how much better it looked.
Yeah,
this is so much better.
Okay, but here's the thing, like, when you look at this compared to the old one.
Oh my God, it's scary. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Like, look how creepy it is.
And, like, even, like, the back of it, okay, so I do want to point out that, like, some people have rightly pointed out that this change probably this probably comes at the expense of a lot of people, like, doing overtime and putting, like, a ton of work into it to make it look like this at this stage in the game.
Well, what do you want people to do? Like, say it's awesome?
No.
Not talking to you, I'm just saying.
Not at all. I just want to recognize anybody that put the extra work into it to make it look more like how we envision Sonic.
But even if this wasn't Sonic, that would just be awful. Like, look how shit that is.
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
It looks like, you know what it looks like to me? It looks like the person who was in charge of creating the, like who is like thinking about like how do we envision this. It looks like they said like let's imagine like he was a real world like character instead of like let's just make him look like the like cartoon Sonic.
But the thing with this is that they make this same mistake with video game and kids stuff all the time, where He-Man comes to Earth, or what if Mario was a real guy on a different planet?
Wait, no, do you remember the Mario and Luigi in like the
movie?
Yeah, the live action.
Yeah, okay, but I watched that movie not knowing it was a Mario movie, and I liked it. But if I knew it was a Mario movie, I'd be really scared. Because that was kind of a scary movie. That was kind of like a terrifying, like, weird movie. Where instead of, like, the king, instead of, because, they come from toadstools, he turns into this fungus monstrosity. Like, like, he doesn't turn into, like, a cute little toadstool.
Yeah.
They're like, ah! He turns into this horrible, gooey, like, thing that dangles from the ceiling. He dangles from this. It's like, I'm not even joking. The Mario movie was so scary.
We should do it.
And they like shot people in the head, and so like people who were descended from like Bowser like people, they had like normal bodies and like tiny little dinosaur monster heads. It was so scary. Like, yeah, I have to show
you gotta
this.
post some images, like Mario live action movie.
It was so yeah.
What the
Dude, that's what happens to the toadstool. It dangles and it like moves and it's gooey.
Whose head is that?
Dude, yeah. This is a terrifying movie. Isn't that the scariest shit?
Why did they do that?
It's so I watched it knowing what Mario was, but it just came on HBO, and I was like, this movie's kind of like cool and scary and weird. It's so scary. It's like the scariest movie in the world.
No.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Oh my god. Just yeah, look at this.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's so and look at that.
Oh,
That's Bowser.
What?
That guy on the left is Bowser.
Oh my god.
And that's Princess Peach. It's a really scary movie.
What? Who?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yoshi's actually pretty cool. He's just a little dinosaur.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I was like, what did they do to my son?
That's
That's a Goomba? Dear Lord.
Yeah. Isn't that the scariest thing you've ever seen? It's so scary. Like that was the kids movie. That's the kids movie.
Was this actually made for kids, or
yes.
was this like
Mario the movie back in like 1991?
I'm just saying, like, is there any possibility that this was made for edgy adults?
Super Mario Brothers 1993. Look at this. Like, what could you be more terrifying than this guy?
No.
That's Bowser.
What the fuck?
Bowser is just a normal white man, but with cornrows and
that is pretty scary to
and a forked tongue that sexually harasses Peach, but it's like weird.
No, this is bad.
And then so Peach is descended. So what happens is they have this like ray that makes people less evolved, so they become it's basically like that episode of Star Trek Next Generation where everyone turns back into the animals they evolved from.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one where Barkley starts it because he turns into a spider.
Yeah, and
he's like, name the disease after me because I'm cool.
Deanna Troi turns into like a frog person.
Yeah. And they have to run away from Worf because he like turns into this like Klingon monstrosity.
There's like the scariest thing on the planet.
Yeah, and
Meanwhile, the humans are like, we're just monkeys, dude. Like,
yeah,
just chill out. But like, everyone is like, oh yeah, Deanna Troi was venomous. She has venom. But anyway, that's literally what happens in the Mario Brothers movie, where they have a ray and they just shoot the heads of different people. And so the king of the whatever, of the Mushroom Kingdom, is descended from fungus. So he turns in to the fungus thing that I showed you.
No.
And that thing that you saw,
Yeah.
it like descends and then like retracts.
No. Like testicles.
Yeah, no, literally. Like actually like testicles, and it makes like a squelching sound.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
That's what happens.
I don't want to talk about this
Mario
anymore.
Brothers.
This is disturbing.
Super Mario Brothers film, 1993, horror movie of the year.
Horror movie of the year.
Top 10 scariest movies. Number 1, Super Mario
You
Brothers.
know, and this is all bringing it back to video game adaptations
Done by people who are trying to give it a broader audience. Like, don't
just don't do that.
because then you end up with this, dude.
Yeah.
But look how much better. I don't want to show clips. I just want to show. I really hope that as the movie goes on, Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, he slowly
loses his hair.
No, he loses his hair. His mustache gets bigger, and he becomes like completely round.
Yeah.
I want that to be his character arc. But look how much more, like, not terrifying it is.
I feel like this could be actually like kind of fun. Like as a kids movie, like this could be fun.
No, totally, because when I watched the first one, if you don't look at the terrifying thing, you're like, actually, this could be fun.
Yeah.
But now that we actually have a cartoon character.
We could go... do you know what day it comes out?
What day?
Valentine's Day. Galentine's Day date! The Sonic movie!
And then, for some reason, every time someone sees me in a window, they come and sexually harass me. So hopefully you can save me.
What?
Because remember last time we went to go see Detective Pikachu? No, I went to see Captain Marvel with you, and some guy just like saw me through a window and decided to come bother me.
Oh yeah, do you remember?
And then when I went to pick up Death Stranding, some guy saw me through a window and decided to come bother me.
Do you remember when the guy like just took a picture of me on the street?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That was fucking weird.
It was like two very like not. I'm just describing them physically.
Hipster assholes.
Hipster assholes. Very small men in weird leather jackets.
Yeah.
Just going around making people uncomfortable. They try to like snap a picture of a couple kissing, and they both just looked at him like, "What is wrong with you?"
And like, this is not like taking pictures from far away. This guy was like right next to me and like stuck his camera like in my face. And if I hadn't been so like just taken aback by it, I would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? But it's like,
you know what the annoying thing is though? They're being like, we're out here making art, and like part of our art is making people uncomfortable. And it's like, dude, your art is harassing people on the street. That's what women complain about, and I guarantee you on your profile it says feminist, and I'm gonna slap you.
yeah.
Like, on his Twitter profile, he probably says huge feminist, but also sticks my camera in women's faces on the street. Like,
that was just so, like, why do that? Just get a telephoto lens and, like, take a picture of me from far away so I don't know you're doing it.
yes, please.
You know, just, like...
Just be creepy from very far away.
Be like, you know, like, they've got paparazzi cameras. That's what they're for.
No, I think probably part of the art they were trying to make was making people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because they were like, dude, I missed the shot. I'm like,
Yeah,
right here.
He said that, like, as he, like, tried to take a picture of the couple kissing, and then he was like, damn it! Like, when they...
that must have been part of their whole thing.
I don't know what the fuck they were doing. It was so weird. It was so weird. And that's the type of thing where I'm glad that you were there with me, because I feel like if I explained that to somebody else, they'd be like, really? Like, that seems very weird. But you were there.
Yeah, and it happened.
It happened. It was
so weird. And I wonder, like, if the picture itself wasn't the art, maybe, like, the art was just the whole action of just being a douche on the street.
Hey, we don't even know. We could have been on a hidden camera.
Exactly. And I hope that if someone out there knows that footage of just two women glaring at a man, know that we hate it and we want it to not exist. And also to set that person on fire.
Yeah.
Whoever's college art project that is, I hope you got an F.
Yeah.
I hope the teacher said, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hi, we're here and we're yelling.
Yeah, lots of yelling today.
But this is way better.
Yeah, this is good. I'm actually, like, I wouldn't mind seeing it.
No, I actually wouldn't mind seeing it either. But
Yeah.
I think if I watched original a little too long, it'd get a little uncomfortable and I wouldn't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, see, like, the big eyes.
It's less scary.
Teeth.
Yeah, no, he has teeth. It's just not weird.
Yeah, well, it's because I think that they just, they made him look like a cartoon, which is...
What he is.
What he is. Not an actual rat that turned blue. Okay. And this is just, like, really quick. They have a thing on Kotaku. There's this Witcher cosplayer that turns Geralt into a firefighter, football player, and a rock star. So he's doing, like, all, like, cool things, which, I don't know.
Look at this puppy.
I know. I always think it's, like, really neat when, like, look at that.
Whoa.
Right?
Uh-huh.
It's,
Oh, he did. Wow, he even got the guitar. I wonder if he photoshopped and he didn't build everything, but still. Oh.
a businessman. This is a
Okay.
calendar. This is a calendar.
Nice. I
Wow.
like it.
This is pretty cool. Okay. Oh, and then you wanted to talk about The Mandalorian.
As of recording this, The Mandalorian came out today, which is Tuesday the 10th. Today's the 10th, right?
12.
12. Disney Plus
12.
came out. Disney Plus came out. And right now, it's a pretty good deal. I think it's $12.99 for Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN, which I'm sure in a year they're going to be like, just kidding, we're like separating it, but now you're subscribed, so like, do you want to stay? But one of the originals they have on there is The Mandalorian. And without spoilers, I think the setting is a lot more... I don't want to define what Star Wars is, but they did a lot more world building in it. It felt a lot more of the gritty underbelly of Star Wars.
Which has always been my favorite part.
Yeah, which you get a lot of in the extended universe and in the video games and in the comics. And in my opinion, the movies are good in their own way, and this is really good in its own way too. I personally like this more than the movies that are coming out right now. And I'm not saying the movies are pieces of shit or whatever. I'm saying that this is more in line with the feelings of what people originally felt about Star Wars. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like when you first see the original without all the weird CGI on it, A New Hope, that's the kind of feeling. It has a lot of these little like boop, 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 like things coming around and little weird robots and stuff. There's not a lot of CGI.
And not CGI Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. So, literally, they have one of the classic robots from the original series, the original trilogy, where it's just a dude wearing the fucking bucket.
Is it the, like, trash can one?
Yeah, trash can guy.
Trash can guy.
It's trash can guy, and it's literally, it's not a CGI guy. It's literally
trash can with feet.
It's literally some guy they put into a trash can with feet, just walking
Yes!
down, just doing that. And there's another part where, you remember the eyeball in Jabba's thing?
Oh, yeah.
The robot eyeball?
I was thinking of the trash.
No.
The trash thing.
Where it's like,
the robot eyeball where it's like...
It comes out, it looks at him, and it comes back in. They have that, and it's just, like, I could tell that it was just some guy with a stick poking out, but because it was some guy and not, like, a CGI thing where it comes out all, like...
Yeah.
Like... It was the guy with the trash can on his head and the stick feels more like it's physically there and has those movements that you can't really replicate on CGI that make it seem like it's a real thing that's there.
It's kind of like the difference between creating like the spaceships with CGI versus like models.
Yes.
You know?
There's a certain element that the models can give where you can feel like it's really there.
Yeah.
And there is CGI in it, but I feel like they use it when they have to.
As opposed to like using it for like, when a character needs to get rid of a mustache, for instance.
I will say this. Mandalorians rarely take off their helmets. And in this show, the Mandalorian, namesake of the show, never takes off their helmet. And neither do any other Mandalorians you see. Everyone, helmet on.
Oh, that's
They're committed to that.
Yeah, so they're committed to the lore.
And some people are being like, this is the man Mandalorian Star Wars we've been watching. Like, shut up, dude. There's a woman Mandalorian, and she's a blacksmith, and it's awesome.
Aww.
So it's not like the super bro weird thing some people are trying to make it out to be. It's just cool. It's just cool. Like,
yeah.
It's just a cool show. There's not really... Dudes aren't, like, running around being like, yeah, like, the men.
Check me out.
Check me out. It's just...
They just exist.
Everyone's just being...
Yeah.
Being at that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. And there is one character from the extended universe that, like, only, like, hardcores will know who they are. So there's that for people who like that.
Oh, sweet. I'm definitely not one of those. But I like it when they include stuff like that.
Yeah, just for the people. Mm-hmm.
For the people who've, like, read all 1,500 books or whatever it is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, where's, like, this random side character that... Do you ever have, like, one of those, like, shows or, like, universes that, like, you're in so deep that you remember, like, those random-ass characters and you're like, this person's my favorite, but there's never anything about them because they don't technically matter?
I think they're maintaining that Boba Fett energy of if Boba Fett doesn't say anything, that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, they've made this really cool character who you can impress upon what their motivations are, what they want, all these things, without them ever really saying very much and ever doing very much. And I think they've done a really good job with that.
No, like, random character monologues?
No, there's no, like, inner dialogue or anything.
Yeah.
It's just other people talking and then just sitting there being like... And then, I don't know, it just unfolds and you're like, oh, shit, dude. It's just cool. It's just a cool show. And I think they did a really good job staying true to the source material and making a main character who's simultaneously extremely blank, but also somehow very emotive. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they did that, but they did.
That's cool. Somebody got, this is like just like a quick thing that I just thought was really funny. Somebody got the Naruto voice actor to say "Okay, Boomer" on camera. I think it was at a con.
Okay, good, great.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. And one more time, thank you so much to Indiana University Press, who has sponsored our podcast. This is the third week that, anyway, yeah. So basically, Michael E. Uzlan, who is the executive producer on all the Batman movies from Tim Burton's through the current one that's being made, he wrote The Boy Who Loved Batman. You can find it on the Indiana University Press website. It's a very comedic book, has a lot of information about comic books. If you're a huge Batman fan, it's a great book to pick up and get more information. He also has, like, really funny chapter titles. Like, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's really long, but part 1, which is where he talks about his, like, upbringing, it says, how to have an origin without a planet blowing up, parents murdered, radioactive spider bites, cosmic rays, gamma rays, white dwarf stars, aliens crash landing, etc., etc.
I like the way the book is formatted. It's formatted in a very bite way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of pictures. There's a lot of, not that, like, I'm too stupid to read words, but
you know what? Like, I think I am at the point where I appreciate some, like, stuff to go along with text. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah. At this point, us millennials have lost the majority of our functioning
ability
brains.
to read. So
yeah, so this book kind of, it's got words, But it also got lots of pictures.
Well, and you know
so
what?
That's good.
Is like for a book that's like about comic books and about a really visual medium, like I feel like it makes sense to have like actual pictures of the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah, it also feels like a thick comic book. Does that make sense? Like those. It feels like one of those.
Like a graphic novel.
Yeah. No, like when I touch it physically, I like touching the paper.
I like how we've spent so much of these like talking about like what the book looks like and like how the feel of it is. And I realized that part of that's because I mostly read audiobooks now, so that when I get a physical book, I'm like, wow, it has pages.
No, but I think what a lot of books are trying to do nowadays with a lot of things that you can get digitally now, in order to sell the physical things, you can make more money selling the physical thing, but you have to make people want to buy the physical thing. So you have to make the physical thing nice. So The Boy Who Loved Batman is a physically nice thing. Just kind of like how buying a vinyl, it's easier to stream it from your phone. But a vinyl, you can touch it. It comes with like cool little art, and it has memorabilia, and you're like, this is nice.
You're like,
this is a thing that I don't really need, but it's just nice to have.
Mm-hmm. So right now, for a limited time, Red Lightning Books and Indiana University Press are offering a special discount code for listeners of this podcast for 30% off your copy of The Boy Who Loved Batman. Go to www.iupress.indiana.edu and use the code BATMAN. That's www.iupress.indiana.edu for a 30% discount at checkout. Thank you so much for sponsoring our podcast, by the way. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, moving forward, so you know how I love talking about crazily priced video game memorabilia.
I feel like I have someone in my life who would consider buying this.
Yeah, I know. But it's not a Disney pin, so they might have to hold off. This solid gold Monster Hunter statue is officially licensed and costs $80,000. So I don't want to hate on anyone for like wanting cool things.
I think it's $80,000 because it's gold.
Yes, I know.
How big is it? I can't tell. Like, is it the size of my hand or is it the size of my arm?
I don't. It doesn't. See, the thing is like it doesn't look like it's too huge. Because the thing is, if it's $80,000 and gold, I don't think it can be super huge. Maybe it tells you in like the actual article.
Read? Is that a joke?
Is this a joke?
All right, let's see. They sell for 8.8 million yen, which is over $80,000, and
or you can pick them up in a set with the gold and silver one. $150,000 depending on your currency conversion.
For a gamer on a budget, several silver models coated in gold or rhodium can be had for a paltry $8,000. That's each, by the way.
Wow. Okay.
How big are they? Okay, maybe.
Oh, wait. Here it says. Wait, hold on. No. It says 15.5 by 11 centimeters, 7.5. That is not very big.
Yeah.
Because that's not.
How big is that?
Centimeters are smaller than inches. Put it that way.
Well, I know that. Okay, I'm not that dumb.
Do you want me to actually like do a convert? Who knows? We'll be left forever wondering. But 7.5 centimeters?
Not very big.
That's how tall it is.
So it's a not very big solid gold dragon.
Yeah.
Or a solid silver dragon.
And like I said, I mean, I don't want to hate on people for like wanting cool stuff, but this seems like
this is just an indirect way to tax the rich.
Yeah. Maybe.
You know how people have ways of taxing lower income people by making up the lottery and stuff?
Yeah, or like the fact that...
basically the lottery is a huge scam that they intentionally marketed towards lower income people in order for the government to get more money from them.
They do the same thing with cigarettes.
Yeah, cigarettes too.
Because
this is just... we need to figure out plots to do this to rich people.
Yeah.
Where we say, like, hey, this thing is made out of pure gold, so it's $50 million.
Or
do you
you
want
know
it?
what? There should be like a surplus tax on bottles of wine that are like over $1,000 a bottle or something
No,
like
no,
that.
because if you call it a tax, they won't.
No, not like a. I don't know.
No. We just have to make up things.
All you have to a luxury tax, because then they're like, ooh, it's a luxury.
No, you can't call it tax. They'll get mad. You have to say it. It's like, no, you have to say, do you want a solid gold dragon that's $80,000? And lots of rich people have it, so you should probably have it too. And really, it's actually worth like $5,000, and then the other few $1 billion go to things people need.
And really, it's just coated with gold, and it's sold by the government.
Yeah, I think the government should have the same traps for poor people as they do for rich people.
For rich people as they do for poor people.
Yeah, no, the government should sell, like, a limited edition I'm Rich placards.
Yeah.
And they're all, like, $1 million. And
do you want to be certified rich?
Yeah, you can't actually call yourself rich unless the
you're
government
certified.
Issues you a limited edition. Like, they only come out with 50 a year, and only 50 people can have them.
No. They should do a lottery for them.
Yeah, a lottery for who is rich.
Yeah.
And
for who gets to call themselves rich.
Oh my God, silent auction for them.
Silent auction.
A silent auction for who can have the 50 slots for who's officially rich.
It should be, like, for that, like, top net worth.
Yeah, top net worth, but you have to do a silent auction.
Oh, you have to do a silent auction, and then you get to be on the list.
And in order to go to the auction, you have to go to a charity dinner, and each of the plates, this is what they do at charities.
Yeah.
Or at a charity, they say, each of the plates is like $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So even just get in the door, it's like $50,000, and they're like, yeah, it's to raise money to help millionaires pay less taxes, but really, it's to help underprivileged children. Don't tell the millionaires, though.
Don't tell them.
Don't let them know it's actually to help people and not, like, seals.
I'm just picturing, like, rich protesters outside being like, they're buying school supplies with your money, and they're like, no, they're not. They're helping not tax rich people. That's what they said.
It's all just a scam.
I can't wait for us to get some, like, person in the comments who's like, but you blah blah blah, like,
rich people are gods.
Why'd you hate on, like, rich people? And I'm like, listen, like,
they don't need you.
They don't need you, and like, if these people that, like, make like $30,000 a year that complain about taxes on people that make more than like $40 million in a year, you're never gonna be that person. I'm sorry.
It's
and
not even. There's people who make $40 million a second. Like, honestly,
and even if you were, like,
you don't need anybody.
You don't need that much money. You don't. I promise.
What are you gonna do with it? They just get more. They just get more money and they keep it.
You can't take it with you. So anyway, so did we ever come down on...
Google's streaming system will have 12 games at launch, and it will add 14 more by the end of the year. And I'm going to be honest, they all look like they suck.
Did we ever come down on how this is pronounced? Stadia?
Stadia? I think it's Stadia.
Like stadium?
Yeah, I think it's Stadia.
Can anyone confirm how the fuck this is supposed to be said?
Nobody knows, because nobody actually watches the press conference. They just look at GIFs and laugh.
Yeah, because honestly, every single time we talk about this on the podcast, I'm always like...
I think it's Stadia.
Okay. So, they do have games.
Okay, not to hate on Tomb Raider, but literally the 3 Tomb Raider games are on everything already.
Yeah, I know.
There's Tomb Raider, you get it free with Xbox Gold.
Here's the thing, is that all of these are they're not like exclusive,
except for Gylt, GYLT. But it looks cool, but it doesn't look that great. But what I don't understand is a lot of these games are so highly dependent on latency. Mortal Kombat 11, that's a really latency important game.
Well, okay, so wait. In our previous podcast, when I looked at the comments where we talked about the previous one where we talked about this platform, there were a couple people that addressed this actually.
Addressed what, latency?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they were talking about there are countries where having like a rip-roaring fast internet connection is actually like really, really cheap. Not here, but like, and there was somebody writing from like, was it India or somewhere? But they were like, yeah, this actually like would not be an issue for me at all, and it's going to be super cheap, and it's way cheaper than owning a console.
That maybe this is Google's way of getting into markets where it would be cheaper than getting a console.
Yeah, because if you think about it, a lot of like high technology products, like for instance, like an iPhone in certain countries is like stupidly expensive. But if they have really good internet, this is actually a really good deal, because then you don't have to spend. Yeah. Because the thing is like technology, like products, like hardware, those are all subject to like currency. You know what am I trying to say?
Conversion rates?
Yeah, and stuff like that. So, like, you could potentially be, like, paying a huge amount of money if you want, like, a physical thing. But with something like this, like, they can change the price entirely for that country, and it doesn't, you know, like, it doesn't cost them anything to change the price for that country, essentially. So, and like not in the same way that it does for hardware, and it doesn't create a black market, which is what would happen if, like, say you're selling an iPhone in one country for like, do you know what I'm saying?
I'm very interested in how this is gonna go. I kind of want to sign up for just 1 month and see what
happens,
what the service is like. Can I stream while doing it? Can I not stream? What's the input lag? Am I going to get disconnected? Blah, blah, blah.
I think that this is for, like, the people that this is for. Like, when people started talking about that, I think this is just for people that are not in the U.S.
This is for people outside the U.S.?
Or I mean, not that it's not for anybody in the U.S., but not for, like, you and me.
It's very interesting that they've been marketing it towards people in the U.S., though.
I mean, I don't know what their marketing strategy has been in other countries, but, like, the comments that I had read, there were people talking about it in other countries, like, because if you think about it, they sell a PS4 here, you know, for, like, what? $400, right? You cannot reasonably go to another country and sell it for the equivalent, like, in order to match, like, a lower price point, sell it for, like, $50 because that creates a black market where people will buy a ton of them and then just like ship them, and it like creates this whole mess, right? But with a digital service like this, you can change the pricing structure completely depending on the country.
So they could charge people in India like $3 a month instead of. That makes sense.
And then I'm not sure if the country was India. I'm trying to remember like what country the person was in, but they were saying that their internet is very fast and it's not very expensive at all, compared to, like, you know, we pay what, like $100 a month. So
the thing about this is you pay for the subscription if you want. So the 1080 version is completely free. The 4K version is a subscription a month. But if you get the subscription, you still have to buy the games on top of that. And if Google ever decides that they just don't want to do it anymore, your game's gone forever.
Yeah.
And it's not like people can say, oh, well, you know, we can trust Google. Google's actually abandoned a lot of projects, like the Google Glass, the glasses, Google Plus. Who knows where that went? It's gone.
Oh, no, remember they tried to forcibly integrate it with YouTube and everyone revolted?
Well, at first it didn't work. Then they tried to make it useful because they basically had this social media platform that no one was using. So they forced everyone on YouTube to use it. And now YouTube's just broken and no one knows how to do anything because you go to your Google Plus. What do you do? What do you do? Help! How do I turn something? I can't. I'm too scared to ever go into any settings anymore in case I accidentally delete our channel. Like that's the point I'm at.
Yeah. Well, and this goes back to also, like, you know, with a lot of forms of like digital stuff, like, you know, for instance, like with ebooks, there's with ebooks, what can happen is if the platform that you are reading the books on, like, goes under, or if they lose the rights to, like, essentially have the book. Like, your copy of the book is gone.
Yeah, I had the Song of Ice and Fire audiobooks on my Apple iTunes library, but since I don't use any other Apple products than that anymore, I just had to buy them again.
Yeah.
Like, I think, couldn't figure out how to make it work, so I'm just like, I don't want to. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Death Stranding's BB comes to Days Gone.
Yeah, so in Days Gone, they have a bike tank that has BB. So you can have a little BB that rides with you. Although BB's face looks kind of weird.
Yeah, this is like kind of creepy looking. Because they had to remake it in their own thing.
Yeah, but
new bike tank. So the tank is the baby.
Yeah, it doesn't show it. Like,
oh,
there it is.
God. So you put a baby in gasoline?
Yeah. Yeah, the baby's just hanging out in gasoline.
Great. Oh.
I would assume that, like, the headcanon is that, like, it's painted on, and it's not actually.
No, I saw it moving.
Suspended in gas.
It's a baby suspended in gas. Okay, so for this is a complete list of all the problems known so far in the Pokemon Sword and Shield with data and or proof for each problem. So this is the leaks, but this is a spoiler-free list of leaks. So this is not going to tell you any of the storyline or anything. This is going to tell you what's broken and what's working. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if you still don't want to hear it, I don't know. The number of usable Pokemon has been cut. Only less than half are now usable, known as Dixit. It means that you won't be able to use these Pokemon in the new games. We already knew this, but the thing that really bothers people is you won't be able to transfer them in. So if you have, like, all of the Pokemon ever, you can't transfer them in, and you won't be able to do anything with them sans sticking them in Home for the foreseeable future. Home is an app on your phone that costs a monthly or yearly subscription in order to hold all of your Pokemon. So you're just supposed to hold on to your Pokemon until they decide that they're going to be usable again. So they have this app that's a monthly or yearly fee for you to hold the fact that you have every single Pokemon and you can't use them for the game that they put out, knowing full well they had this app. So that's why people are upset.
I'm so behind on Pokemon, I didn't even know you could, like, put them into other games.
Oh, no, you can. That's how it's been for a long time. These Pokemon are basically removed from the main game franchise, and they will take probably years to come back, if ever. So half of the Pokédex is just gone. Pokemon in green are confirmed. Okay, whatever.
So how do people... Is this from, like, people who already have the game? Is the game out yet? Like,
the game got... In Mexico, some stores got it early, and they just started selling them.
Okay.
So they just started selling all the Pokemon.
Unlike GameStop making me stand there and wait till 9 p.m. on the dot for my copy of Death Stranding.
Yeah, I was just like, can you just, like, give it to me now?
Like,
and they're like, no.
I know. Like, I'm here.
Can I give you, like, $50 so I can just go?
So, like, I can just take it and leave?
And leave, please? Just like about 144 moves were removed, 99 moves excluding the Let's Go and other outlier moves. This includes extremely important and used mainstay moves like Hidden Power, what? Return, Frustration, and Pursuit. Oh wow, these are all pretty, like, used moves for games. On top of extremely old moves that have been here since Gen 1, some of these moves are important for viability of several Pokemon, which may cause them to be way less effective, if not way worse, when it comes to battles. On top of this, it also removed signature moves of certain Pokemon. There's a full list that I'm not going to read. People are saying the game is short, and it's around 14 hours, which
What?
I remember 14 hours being how long it took me to beat the original Pokemon, but I don't know. And people have been streaming the game. Clocking it at 14 hours and 34 minutes. The graphics are mediocre. I'm like, okay, that doesn't really bother me because it's a Pokemon game. It's just how it is. People are mad that they're saying it's an up-res and it's doing amazing things, but really they proved that they were taking the 3DS models and just putting them into the Switch. So it's not actually better. So the reason they said they had to get rid of all the Pokemon is because they were making new movements and stuff. Not great. So it's not amazing. It's not doing so great. There's a lot of graphical issues. Some of them is just people popping in from a distance, but there's other one where Pokemon trainers will disappear halfway through fighting. They'll just be gone here.
Oh, wow.
Trainers disappearing mid-battle can be evidenced here. And gone.
Oh.
They just disappear. They're just gone. Can I press this? No. And animations are really they're upset with this because the animations, the thing that they said we couldn't have the Pokemon over, are really bad. And they're the same. They're either the same as they were in older games, or there was one they had where they had some Pokemon just standing there, and in order to show it turning around, they just turned the model.
Turned the Pokemon?
Yeah, they just turned it. It didn't, like, have an animation for turning.
It rotates.
It just rotated and walked away.
Like it's on a little microwave.
Here's a Pokemon headbutting with its feet. Oh. Okay.
Did you miss it at the
I
beginning?
don't know. It's over. It's gone.
Wait, it said headbutt at the end there, but...
It's just ridiculous. Cutscenes. Post-game is non-existent. Game design behavior is broken. Remove past features with virtually no new additions. No scaling. I don't know what that means. A $20 price increase for less content than earlier 3DS games. Soft locking, completely freezing. And, people might say, well, maybe there's a day one patch. First of all, not everyone wants to download a patch. Some people just want to put the game in and play it and not have to connect to the internet. Yeah. Like, there shouldn't be a day one patch that fixes all these things.
Yeah. I get, and this kind of goes back to also, almost the opposite to what we were just talking about with Stadia, where it's like some places, internet is really good, and it's really cheap. And in other places, internet is really expensive, or it's really unreliable, or people don't have access to download all of this data. So, saying, oh, there's just a day one patch, that doesn't work for everybody.
You know what really annoys me is when I pre-order a game or something, or I download or preload a game, and it's 60 gigs or 100 gigs or whatever, and I'm just thinking, do you just not care at all? Because some people have to pay per gig.
Yeah.
What? Do you just not give a shit about anything at all? No, I don't want to have 120 gigs of Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Stop.
And what game was it? There was a game, I remember them talking about it on Podquisition, where the, I think it was what was it, the PC version of the game, instead of having a disc, it had a download code.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
No, that happens with Switch games, too, where people go out, get the physical game, they open it up, there's a download code in it.
What the fuck is the point?
Exactly.
There's, and what makes me, especially mad about that is that it's okay, I wanted the physical medium, so that I don't necessarily have to download this huge thing, or even so that, when I'm done playing it, I can potentially, trade it in for something else I want. You give me a download code, what, now I just...
Why do I have an empty box? Why did I buy an empty box?
Yeah, why did I buy the box? What was the... don't even say that you're selling a physical version. You know what I mean? Don't
Yeah.
lead people to believe it's a physical version.
And that's basically pushing the cost of the physical data onto the consumer. Because that's saying, okay, well, you're buying the game. Like, what's the problem? I came here to buy the physical game. And the reason I did that is because I don't want to have to physically buy the space on my thing.
Yeah.
Because on the Switch, you kind of have to get an extra SD slot if you want to download games.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone wants to buy. It's just like I'm so exhausted.
I mean,
just give me the game.
Yeah. And like, not to mention the fact that like also like it can be nice to have like a physical backup copy of something instead of just a digital version.
Yeah.
You know?
It's ridiculous.
So Hideo Kojima, our boy, Hideo Kojima, just won a Guinness World Record for his social media accounts. So he, I believe, is the most followers on Twitter and Instagram for a video game director.
Good for him.
Good for him.
He got a lot of likes. Do you think he leveled up?
I know, right?
That's a little meta considering his game is about getting likes. And you level... Because basically in Death Stranding... likes are equivalent to XP points.
Yeah. You know, why don't we talk like a little bit of like non-spoiler thoughts about Death Stranding, because I feel like
these fucking reviewers didn't finish the game.
I'm
saying it.
I would also add that I think that some of the reviews that I've read, the titles are not accurate to what the reviewer and I know that oftentimes like when articles get posted on the internet, the writer does not choose the title because like, you know, the editor or whoever is trying to like make sure people click on it, they choose a title that's going to make people click on it. Because some of the reviews that I read, like the title makes it seem like the reviewer didn't really like the game, or that they were a lot more like conflicted about it. When, in fact, you read the review and it's like, oh, yeah, like, here are some of the issues, but overall they loved it.
Yeah, people seem to keep doing this thing where, does it suck? And they're like, no, it doesn't. It's actually really awesome. But I was reading reviews saying, it's basically a 30-hour walking simulator. And now that I'm playing it, I'm thinking, what the fuck game did you play? Because, the first few hours... is a lot of walking, and I think that's to introduce the concept of struggling, because then you gain new things like tools,
community.
Guns. You get guns, and a rocket launcher, and you can kill things, and you get all these weapons. You can go off and kill everything. And one really cool element of the gameplay is that this is logically, I should have known this from the beginning, but if you kill people, like actual humans out in the world, they turn into the monsters. And so if you go off and kill the people who are attacking you, because you can either kill them or knock them out, and I always knock them out because I'm scared of the monsters. Mm-hmm. But if you kill them, they turn into the monsters, and that becomes a new monster area.
Yeah.
And there's just all these dynamic things that you can do. There's rocket launchers, there's guns, there's bikes, there's bridges, there's roads. Like, what game did these people play?
And
like,
and one thing that I was talking to somebody about today that was asking me, so somebody who hasn't played the game, and they were like, they said something like, oh, so like, how was your weekend? And I was like, oh, it was great. I had a blast, playing because they were asking me about playing the game. And they were like, oh, so like, you must have liked it more than the critics then. And I was like, if you go look on Metacritic, it's 2 negative reviews, 14 mixed, and then 70 positive. And that doesn't, like, it has like an 83, which I know you said is low for a AAA game, but like, it's 83, it's the same as like the original Life is Strange.
I have a question. Why did IGN give it a 40 out of 100?
Did
they play the game?
I don't know.
No, I'm starting to think that people at IGN don't play the games. Like, I think they don't finish.
Well, and another thing is that I feel like some of the reviews, I mean, obviously, like, they can't talk about all of the things that go into it, but there's, like, a huge, like, there's a social element to the game that is, like, pretty important. Because, like, when you start, things are a lot harder, and then as you go and you get more tools and you have more people contributing to things,
it gets easier.
And like part of what that's showing you is like, hey, when we all work together, this is a lot fucking easier than trying to do it by yourself.
And no hate on Jim Sterling. He had a video come out and he's like, I played the first 10 hours, it sucks, I hate it. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool. I liked the first 10 hours because of the story and because, he didn't even play for the 10 hours. He played for a few hours. So he didn't even get to the part where you start earning the tools to make it easier. So that's kind of...
Well, and here's the thing, is that I feel like it is very fair for someone to be like, you know what, this is just not scratching my itch, and it's not how I want to spend my time. Like,
but if someone sent you a review copy, you have to.
But if someone sent you a review copy,
finish the game.
And your job is to write a review, you should finish the game unless it is so hopelessly broken that you literally cannot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's, I don't think we're even particularly addressing Jim Sterling with that point. That's more for, like, people that write
Jim, I think he bought it for himself.
Yeah.
So that's different.
But it's also, like, when people, like, write reviews for websites where it's, like, people are kind of looking to you for your, not just your first impressions, but, like, you played the entire game and you can speak to the whole experience. Mm-hmm. And... not every game is going to be for every person, and this is the type of game where I can see people, like, really getting bored of kind of, like, the tasks that you have to do in the beginning. To me, it honestly almost feels kind of, like, meditative, and, like, there are some, like, really funny moments that you have because you're trying to do these, like... things that can be really difficult, and like it can lead to some pretty epic fuck ups.
So I play the game on my own between major story points, and I enjoy playing it. The reason I don't show it on video is because it's not enjoyable to watch, and being enjoyable to watch and enjoyable to play are sometimes very different things. That doesn't mean I don't think it's good. I get to points where I'm like, shit, the story's happening, I have to wait for Stacy. I'm like pissed.
I think there are a lot of, I don't know, I've heard from a lot of people that still enjoy watching, like, the quote-unquote boring parts.
No,
but
you can watch that on Twitch, but for YouTube, honestly,
no.
It's not good for
I'm not
viewership.
saying that you should put it on YouTube. Okay. I'm saying, what I'm trying to say to the people who are, like, I don't know, like... There are people that, like, specifically asked, like, where can I find the full-length videos?
Oh, yeah.
Because they wanted to see, like, they liked the meditative quality of it, almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's very peaceful.
Yeah. So if you want that, the full Twitch VODs are on Twitch. Right now, I take them and I edit them to be a little bit more... Condensed for YouTube. But both versions are available. You don't have to worry about missing anything except for the stuff I play off stream. Yeah. So
if you're the type of person that really, like, likes to, like, see all of, like, the, like, random side quests that we do on the full-length streams, like, you can do that. Mm-hmm. If you're somebody who would just rather, like, keep it to the condensed version with the highlights and the best jokes.
Mm-hmm. The best jokes?
The best jokes? Only the best jokes
Please
for you.
take my semen, please.
Yeah. Somebody was watching our stream and I was like, oh, like, hopefully...
Who's somebody? Is this somebody? Okay.
And I was like, oh, hopefully I didn't say anything stupid. And they were like, oh, yeah, you said that you had to go deliver the AIDS package. Do you remember when I said that? Instead of aid package, I said it was an AIDS package, apparently.
I didn't even know that you... I guess it was just like it went over my head.
I think that it was the first night, so we were both also really tired. Do you remember we had to
I think we had to deliver semen or something.
Yeah, but it was that was the aid package, and I called it an AIDS package.
Well, canceled.
Yeah. So, anyway, and the last small thing before we say goodbye is there's a new yellow masked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle named Jenica. She is getting her own comic. Apparently, she is the newest member of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles family. She was actually introduced in one of the previous comics, I think, but now she's going to get... She was like given a blood transfusion, and so she became a turtle, and now so she's like struggling with her turtle identity.
So she was a human before,
yeah,
and she got a blood transfusion and became a turtle.
No, so she had an emergent... I think that she was like hurt or something, and so they had to give her a blood transfusion, but there's only turtles around. So they're like, okay, well, here you go.
So she's a human woman who became a ninja.
Otherwise, she would have died, I'm sure. That has to be it, right?
So one thing I like about her character model is that she doesn't have turtle breasts.
I know!
Which
Thank
I would
God.
like to point out the original female Ninja Turtle.
Oh, please Google it so they can
No,
see
I
it.
have it ready. Are you ready?
Oh, no!
Who did have ninja breasts.
No.
She had ninja tits. She had turtle tits. Here she is.
Stop.
There it is.
Stop it.
Turtle tits. I feel like I've shown you this before.
I've definitely seen this before.
This is the original female Ninja Turtle, Venus de Milo or whatever.
Venus de Milo.
Venus de Milo. That's her.
I am at least glad that she doesn't have nips.
Well, none of them have nips.
Well,
but
I know, but I'm saying,
in order for people to know that she was the female one, she had to have turtle tits.
This is embarrassing.
Is it embarrassing?
Oh my God. No.
I love how that drawing of her has bigger tits.
Well, of course it does, Mari. There's probably, I guarantee you, there's like
weird ass
porn of
her. Her weapons were like blade fans. That's kind of cool.
Fucking cool.
That's kind of rad.
Like Katana, from Mortal Kombat.
Ah, but she had blade. Oh no, it's sexy. Oh no. Help, we're in furry world.
Not right now, but we should see if we can find Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Pornhub.
I don't
for Pixel
want
Square.
to.
Yes, we did Sonic. And
no, because everybody who's into Sonic or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a furry or a scaly now. And
now?
It's like,
they weren't then?
But, they became one because of the horrible influences of cartoons.
So we could make more furries? Is that what you're telling me?
I just want to say that not all furries are fucking weirdos, but sometimes furries, they just happen to attract people who somehow have even weirder... okay, being a furry... whatever, I don't care. Maybe I'd fuck a furry, I don't care. Sometimes, people in the furry community where I'm like, did you just come here because you were hoping that people in this community would be more accepting to your even weirder thing?
Yeah.
That you just, actually want to fuck animals? You need to leave.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the majority of furries are just people who just want to have sex in a costume, and that's fine. Just do that. Be yourself. Or people who just, feel that they're a dragon on the inside, and I'm like, yeah, of course.
Okay,
I'm supportive of you being a dragon. That sounds really awesome. But if you want to actually fuck an animal, please go see a psychiatrist.
Well, if you want to actually fuck an animal, you are not a furry. You're
just an animal rapist.
Yeah.
So, if you're a dragon on the inside, that's amazing. If you're a wolf on the inside, that's also amazing. But please don't fuck a wolf. Please see a doctor if you want to actually have sex with a wolf. Don't do it. Have sex with somebody dressed as a wolf.
Oh my God.
Role play as a wolf. Don't do it. I'm just saying.
Just get one of those little butt plugs with a tail. They're great.
Yes. Just do that. Role play it. Don't actually do it. Please.
I'm pretty you know what? It's kind of like that. It's you can't call yourself a furry if that's what you actually want, because that's not
what furry is. That's just you hoping that someone will also go, haha, just kidding, except unless you're not, and you're dude, I need you to leave, just be a dragon, and that's awesome, and get a dragon dildo and do that, and impregnate yourself with gelatin eggs, and that's cool. I support you in doing that. But if you don't do it for real, okay, unless dragons were real and they can consent, then that would be fine. but animals cannot consent. The end.
I'm horrified.
It had to be said. I needed to protect
This isn't even Pixel Squirt. This is a safe space.
Except for people who are weird.
What have you done?
Well,
saying that
the turtle tits triggered me. Okay, I saw turtle tits and I just started getting upset.
I'm triggered by turtle tits.
Okay, they upset me very deeply, and it just like made me go on a tangent on how angry I am about people trying to infiltrate the furry community.
We're leaving.
Goodbye.
Bye.